Alright guys, we're back on the water. It's windier than I was hoping for and colder than I was hoping for. Today was supposed to be 70 degrees and I would have expected the water temperature to be up a bit, but the water temperature is 46 degrees, and we're gonna go back in this pocket and see if we can find some fish. If not, we're gonna bounce around the lake and try to put something together. Alright guys, let's get after it. Barely hooked, but there we go. First cast, first fish. Okay, not a big one, but it's a fish. But getting close. Good fish. Alright, we just hooked into another one. I am sorry guys for the wind, but we just hooked into another decent one. Chatterbait. Bringing it around here. Oh, there we go. We're getting somewhere. We haven't caught a ton of fish yet, but we haven't been out here long. But we're catching some good quality fish. Wondering if my battery's dying because it wants to shut off on me. So catching that fish, guys, is a real good sign to me. We were at the mouth of this arm, this creek arm, and we caught 3 fish. A smallmouth right at the very opening of it, and then we caught a largemouth and another largemouth. And now we've moved up quite a ways, and we caught another good largemouth up here, that's a good sign. So we'll see. We'll keep moving back to see if they're in here. The water's a couple degrees warmer. It was 46 out there. It's 48 in here, so I don't know. We'll see if it keeps warming up. It's so windy, it's staining up the water. I might swap. This is very clear. He hit it solid, but I would consider swapping to something black, darker, because there's a pretty good stain in the water. All right, let's keep after it. Not a giant, but boy, I'll tell you what, they can fight. Good, short, fat, healthy fish. There is either two fish there, or this one bit and didn't get it, and bit again. But I had cast really tight to the bank, and I got a bite and it started running off to the side, but I didn't get it. And then I just kept making cast after cast after cast, and probably, it really wasn't that many. It was probably 6 or something casts in, and that fish or another one bit again, and absolutely stomped on it. So that is fantastic. It's time for a new bait. So we're going to put this on and make some more casts. All right, guys, we've got a new bait on there. We're going to make a few more casts. This is the spot that we came back to. We were in the front of, in the front of the pocket, and then we came to this spot and we caught 2 good fish off of it. Now we've come back and we've caught another one. We've explored the pocket and we've caught a couple pickerel, but no bass. And it seems like the pickerel, I haven't always got it quite figured out, but it seems like the pickerel will move up first, or to the shallowest spots. So what I found is if I'm catching a lot of pickerel, I usually find I have to move back to start catching the bass. And this seems to be oh, and there's a beaver. You can't see it, but there's a beaver right here. There's a beaver hut, so it makes sense. Just kind of neat. This seems to be the spot where they're coming to first, and it's loading up. And I would guess that it would replenish. I don't know if maybe this fish was there already, maybe it wasn't, but I would guess that it would replenish some, and this seems to be a key spot for them. And then we're going to work our way back out and hit the spots that we hit on the way in, right in the opening, and maybe a few others, and see if we can find some more fish. All right, let's keep after it. One more on the chatterbait. There's some deep water here, and there's a log right here, and we picked up one decent fish. That fish has been a catch and release fish. There's another hole in its lip, not from me, and so again, just that power of catch and release. We're getting to catch that fish again, enjoy that fish again. Kind of a fantastic deal. Hopefully someone else gets to do the same. We'll take it. Smallmouth, okay. Angry fish. Alright, come on. Alrighty. Here we go, on the chatterbait. Stomped on it. A decent little smallmouth. It's kind of odd to see a school of them up here. Chunky little fish. There's a break line right here, so the fish are right on the break. There's a deep channel. The fish are right on. At least I'm catching them right on the end. Coming up, they're right at that. All right. Now the chatterbait fish, boy, he had that all the way down. I think he wanted that one. All right. We'll let this one go. Good looking fish there. So we've got the channel is very narrow. And it comes in right here and kind of around. And we were just fishing down right kind of on the edge of that channel. He just stomped on it. Boy, the wind's died down for at least a couple seconds. It feels terrific. That's a fish. All right, guys. Go all the way out the end of the cast. Right. Ooh, that's another good one. Yep. What a beautiful fish. Again, just choked it. What a beautiful fish. Oh. Boy, I love them. Oh my goodness. Right in line with the channel. I can see it on the 360. That was absolutely right in line with it. Feels like a decent fish, we'll see. Oh yeah, that's a good fish. All right. Boy, that's fantastic. Right in the corner of the mouth. Wow. Wow. That fish has been caught before. He's got a bit of a tear in his cheek, and so it you know, sunk down in there. But what a fat, beautiful, healthy fish. Been caught before, and we're catching them again. Oh man, that is awesome. That is fantastic. Oh goodness gracious, that is awesome. There seems to be something down there that I'm bumping into. That's 3 times now. It seems like I've bumped into something and caught a fish. And but again, not quite as big, but just beautiful. I like to stay on top of the hook point. It feels pretty good still, but it pays to have sharp hooks big time. Oh, that was a good bite too. Oh goodness, that is a big fish. Let's see if I can get the fish in the boat. Oh goodness gracious, that is a big fish. That might be the best fish of the day. Let's not lose it because we're laughing. Oh goodness. Oh my word. Look at that donkey. Wow. That was right near the boat. You saw that. And what a giant. Look at that fish. I could stick my hand right in it. Look at that thing. That is a fatty. Oh, goodness. Goodness, goodness, goodness. All right. 5.82. All right. 5.82. We got the scale to work long enough to do that. I'll let that beautiful fish go. All right, you're free. There she goes. Oh, just like that. Oh, I love them. Oh, that is fantastic. If that doesn't get you excited, you shouldn't be fishing. You should just go home and do something else. Oh, that is exciting. Oh. That will push us over into a pretty good bag of fish today. Oh boy. Okay, we got a new trailer on, and that is that, I don't know, Zaco rig, whatever they call it, trailer. Gary Yamamoto. It is designed for the chatterbait, and I resisted buying them because they were so expensive, but they just work. So now I buy them because they absolutely catch fish. This is one of those cases I was just going to say where, man, it pays to have power poles. If we didn't have power poles, we'd have drifted right over that spot and probably ruined it, and never caught that. It was 5.82. We would have never caught that fish and a whole bunch of others, and we'll see if we can catch a few more. But wow, does it pay to have power poles, especially in the spring when fish are moving up shallow, and they're already a little nervous. They're in shallower water than they want to be, and so if you keep pushing on that trolling motor, you're going to spook those fish. So it pays to be quiet. And just see while I'm talking about that, see if I've got, I think my electronics back here are turned off. It's just better to be quiet. I've got the ones in the front working, but I don't want multiple pings if I can help it. Decent fish. Came off right at the boat. It was a good one, but it wasn't a giant. Boy, that felt like a fish. It is. Another good one. Oh goodness. It's gotta be over. It's gotta be 4 or more, I would guess. That is a good one. That is a good one. So we can scale it. That beautiful fish came. They don't all have to be big and beautiful, but it's nice if they are. He came up once and I missed it. I felt it, and then I saw him come up and come back and get it. That's wild. It felt like a fish, you know. The vibration stops and it feels like they're coming for it. And it was a fish. Boy, they are piling up in here. This is fantastic. I gotta go pretty soon. My wife is dropping my son off. He's only 3. I had to think about that for a second. But he's only 3, so we probably won't be filming when he's with us. But we're going to catch as many as we can. We're going to go out and get them and hopefully come back. There is someone else in here fishing. You know, the boat came by a little bit ago, and I don't want to step on their toes. But and if we leave they might come right to this spot. It wouldn't surprise me, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do. But this is pretty special. You could just stay here all day long and just fish around, fish around, fish around, and keep it going. And they're good quality fish, as you've already seen. Good quality fish. So it would be the kind of spot that just sit here and just keep casting around and finding. Don't leave this. Obviously, I have to. If I didn't, I wouldn't have. Now, that being said, the way I phrase that probably sounds like a negative thing. I have to go pick up myself. It's really a get to. I love taking it with me, and I don't like to take it too long because I don't want it to become miserable for him. So that's why my wife is bringing it later in the day. We'll fish together for probably an hour or less, and that's it. Make sure he has a good time and call it quits. But I want to. Hopefully he grows to enjoy it, but I don't want to push it on him. And if he's having a bad time, I don't want to push it too hard because I'd ultimately like it to be something he enjoys at home. I didn't get to weigh some of the ones that I would have liked to have weighed. This thing seems to be working at the moment, so I'll take it. I'm curious. Hopefully this one's going to help us. Okay, so this is our smallest fish. It's good to know. 3.02. 3-pounder isn't going to help. Hard part is I'm pretty sure I caught a few 3.5s that I let it go without weighing just because I wasn't having the scale working, but I moved the batteries around and it seems like it's working at least a little bit. Can't quite tell if I'm stuck in some sticks or not, but I don't think so. That one might help us. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, come here, beautiful. Oh yeah. Yep, that one will help us. And look at that bait. This one might be the best choke down his throat yet. Look at that bait. Oh. That beautiful healthy fish. Let's see if we can land this one. Call out that 3-pounder. .1. Alright. Beautiful. 3.35 is the next one. Oh, good day when you're catching a lot of fish and big fish. Oh my goodness. pays not to ruin an area. I don't know if this one will really help us today, but on a normal day, this fish would help us. It's a good fish, good healthy fish. Not today, I don't think. Beautiful. That fish bit with one of those jig bites that you dream about. Boom. Alright guys, back in the garage. It is recap time, and what an amazing day. That was incredible. So glad you were able to come along. We had for the total weight for the five biggest fish that I was able to measure. We might have had one bigger, but I think we were pretty close to probably actually capturing with the scale not working properly there for a little bit. I think we were pretty close to capturing the five biggest, but it came to 22 pounds, 0.49, so 22 and a half, 22.49 is what it came to total. That was an incredible day, a lot of fun here in Maine. That is a awesome day, at least from where I'm sitting. And not a lot of days can you catch that many fish and that quality of fish. They were absolutely moving up into the shallows. The water was cold, surprisingly cold, and it was extremely windy today. I'm sure you're gonna hear that in the video, and I'm sorry, but it was extremely windy. So right off the bat, we did catch a couple fish on a jerkbait, one smallmouth and then one largemouth. You know, as we were moving in, it was a little bit deeper there, and we did catch two fish on a jerkbait, but it was not a jerkbait day, so I'm not really going to spend any time on that. Then we did catch a couple, and the next one was on a creature bait. This is just a 1/4 ounce tungsten weight and a flipping hook, a straight shank flipping hook, which is what I prefer with a snell knot. And then this is striking, boy, I want to say it's the Rage Bug, and I like that bait a lot. It's a pretty fantastic bait, and I like it when it swims level. Some other baits without the appendages, they tend to roll on you, and this one swims straight, kind of no matter what, just because of the way the legs on there are. It levels everything out. It acts kind of like a keel, which I like, and it has movement coming back. So every once in a while you will catch a fish reeling it back to you, especially if you kind of work it a little bit like a swimming action. You'll catch a few. Not that I am normally trying, but every once in a while I do. But that's a good bait. We caught a few on that, and probably if we had worked it harder, we would have caught more. But the deal today was the chatterbait, and I keep going back to this bait. In the springtime, it's hard to beat as the fish are coming up shallow. Boy, they're hungry, they're wanting to eat, and it seems that they haven't, obviously in Maine we've had ice for quite a few months, and so they haven't been pressured the same way. So it seems like they're a little bit willing to run down a bait and go get it, and eat it very well. And then with the conditions in the springtime, sometimes it's very, very clear, and sometimes it's pretty stained. Well, when it's pretty stained, the chatterbait, it just shines. Go with a dark color like this, and the vibration, they will feel it, they will hear it, and then they will see it with those dark colors. And I started off with a very natural one. That's, around here we don't have very stained waters often. It happens, and today was one of those days, but it doesn't happen a lot. So I pretty much always start with a more natural colored bait, and that's what I had on today. And we did catch a fish or two on it, and then I just thought, boy, with the way that the water is, it was quite stained. You could see maybe 1.5 feet, which for around here is stained. Normally we can see 4 feet, 5 feet, 15 feet easy. But today it was stained. We were in a shallow creek arm, and the water, there was a mud bottom and just enough water churning to silt that up, and it was hard to see. So we went to the black, and we caught so many fish. We went with a 3/8 ounce chatterbait, and boy, did that just get it done. That was absolutely the deal today, and they were willing to chase it down. They were willing to commit, and I mean, they had it all the way down. So once I find that they're willing to commit to a moving bait, it's really hard to go to something else, a slower bait. Especially today was very windy, again, as you know, and it can be tough to feel the bite on a creature bait. Now we could have upsized, and I had a rod on the deck with a heavier weight, and we threw it a couple times, but we got our bites on the lighter weight. The reason I go with a lighter weight is, one, it was shallower water, but two, in the springtime when they're moving up, they can be skittish, and they tend to get shallow. I mean, that's kind of the whole deal, and it's fun to chase them in that shallow water, but they tend to be skittish. So if you use some big weight and there's this big splash going in the water, they get spooked and they tend to run off, and that's it. You might be able to, find them again later and catch them, but at that moment you're done. And so that's why sometimes going with that lighter weight it is better. It makes it less of a splash going in, and it moves just a little bit slower because the fish are cold, and so they might not run, we saw they were willing to chase some, but they might not run 5-10 feet to go get something. So the longer it's in their face, the better, and the more it's just an easy meal, and something that they don't have to expend a lot of energy for, the better, at least from the way I see it. So that was it. Mainly the chatterbait, a little bit on the creature bait. What an incredible day, and that was just one of those places, and I can't stress it enough. In the springtime, if you're in a place that the fish are moving up into, spend some time. If you catch one fish, keep casting, keep fishing it. And if you have power poles, put those power poles. The minute you catch a fish, put the power poles down. Typically, they're there for a reason. You can catch just one random fish, but it doesn't happen a lot. There's a reason that fish is there, and there's probably more right behind it. So keep making casts. Fan out a lot. First, I'd start with the exact same spot. And if you hit something, hit it again and again and again and again. And we had a place today where I think we caught 4 good fish in a row, and then we caught more after that. But hitting the exact same spot. We were bumping something. And so make that repeated cast. And if they stop biting, fan out. You'll probably catch a few more. And then go back to that spot. Maybe change baits and so on. And then if you have power poles, again, lift the power poles, move forward a little bit, being as quiet as possible. In super shallow water, I keep most of my electronics off. Certainly the back of the boat I do. Up front, sometimes, depending on the depth and the clarity, I will have electronics on. I typically will always keep my 360 on. It just lets me see depression, just what's going on a little bit better, and it's a little quieter, they tell me. So I use that quite a bit, even if I'm not using the regular, sonar. And then just creeping forward, and the minute I catch another fish, power poles down, fan cast, do the same thing, and just keep working the area. And then give it a rest, come back to it, come at it from another angle, whatever you have to do. But when you find good fish that are moving up in there and they're replenishing constantly, you don't really want to leave that spot. At least I don't. Now, if they were all small fish, maybe I would leave it to try to find some bigger ones. But when they're of that quality, there's no reason to go anywhere else. So we just kept working that area, and we caught fish after fish after fish, and good ones. So it was a fun day. Glad you came along. Can't wait till next time. Take care, guys.